What's going on, everybody? It is Friday, which means that I will be looking at your guys' comments and responding to them to the best of my ability. If you're confused of where those comments come from, then you don't watch my Tuesday and Thursday videos, and that makes me sad because you should. And I think today's video is going to be shorter than usual, which is totally fine with me, but we'll get right into it. On Tuesday, I asked you guys straight up, what are your thoughts on separation of church and state? And quite a few of you said that it's being completely misused. It is not freedom from religion, but freedom of religion. Clarifying that it's basically so that the church doesn't run the government. And that was the basic consensus. And so I do agree with Seraphim. It means that the church should not be running the state, the government in any way. But I understand in a school situation that teachers should not be leading students in prayer. I know I would be very uncomfortable in a class, if it was like a history class, and the teacher said, this is how Muslims pray, now you do it. Even if they were like, you don't have to do it, but this is where all going to be participating, so if you don't want to, then fine, I guess. That's still weird. But I do believe that it should be the church that is encouraging students to go in and lead prayer, teach other kids about God, invite them to youth group, that kind of thing. And not to sound like God's Not Dead 2, which I still haven't seen, but I think if a student asks a teacher a biblical question, the teacher should be allowed to quote the Bible within the context, be like, yes, that is what the Bible says. Like, if you know your teacher is a Muslim, and so you ask her a question about her faith, she should be allowed to answer it. I think it's the leading of students towards a certain faith that is kind of the key there. And then from that, we go on to the Thursday video where we talked about the Babylon Bee. They wrote a satirical article on Jan Crouch, who has recently died. And so I asked everybody, does satire have a line, and should it have a line? Though I really wish I would have just asked you guys if you found the specific article offensive or not. Quite a few of you are saying that, satire doesn't have a line. It should not have a line because that limits what comedy can be. On one hand, if you don't have a line and you keep stretching what you would call a line so that things are funnier and funnier even when we previously thought they wouldn't be, can be a good thing because you're literally cheering people up. But on the other side of that, I think we live in a very apathetic world. One where maybe we need to feel a little bit more and not be so callous to be like, it's just a joke. But I understand what you guys are coming from. I have heard many comedians actually say this, and not like for the sake of comedy because they were saying it because it's their profession. I do appreciate what Replay Station said, which was they need to know their crowd when they are releasing satire, and they did not gauge that very well with this article. There are people out there who might like this sense of humor and not see it in bad taste like most of the people who saw it did. And QWERTY had something to say on the other side of the fence. Basically, whether you believe satire should have a line or not, Babylon Bee didn't really do this in most necessarily the most biblical way. Mourn with those who mourn, don't make fun of them when they're mourning. Again, I said this in Thursday's video. I don't think this article is the end of the world. I don't think it's the end of Babylon Bee. I think it was just a joke that while it was funny, and it ended up just being in bad taste, which happens. I've definitely said things that I thought was funny in the moment, and then I saw someone's response to it and felt awful because I was like, wow, that was really mean. I'm sorry. But that's it. That's where we're ending the Friday show. You guys didn't have a lot of differing opinions. Everyone was pretty much on the same page. That's pretty interesting. Don't forget, Monday, 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time at facebook.com/geeksundergrace. We do a live video. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have the Christian News Show here. And on Wednesdays, we have the podcast. So check all of that out. We did not have a podcast last Wednesday. I'm sorry. But we will be having one this week for sure. So, this coming week. Anyways, I will see you guys later. Love ya. God bless.